Everyone, hope you're doing good. So in this video I want to walk you through how you can actually handle the objection of like, I need to think about it on your sales call. So if you're selling any sort of like coaching program, any consulting program, any B2B service, this is an objection that you've probably been hit before with, and sometimes it's very difficult to pinpoint why you're getting these objections. But in this video I'm just going to walk you through why you get them and how you can actually fix that. So one of the common roadblocks everyone gets, so it's actually closing the sale. It's one thing to get the appointment, it's one thing to get the attention, but actually closing is something that a lot of people struggle with. So I'm going to go over that in this video, but this is going to be on a specific part. There's going to be another part of this. But let's say that you're getting people on sales calls, even with like your ideal client, it goes great, and then you mention the price, and then it's just like, it just gets awkward. Like they just start staring at you, they start looking at different ways, they can't look at the screen, and then like, you know, they say it's great, but like, I need to think about it, let's circle back in 2 weeks, let's see where we're at in like a month, or like, oh, I need to speak to someone first, give me a few days. Or they're like, oh, it's expensive. Or even worst case, they're like, oh, I have another meeting with this guy who does similar stuff to what you're doing. So it's like, it sucks when you hear that stuff, but I'm going to explain to you how you can fix that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mahiz. I run Webful, and we help coaches and consultants basically get more clients. We're pretty good at it, and we actually guarantee it. If you want to see how we actually do it, like our actual systems, I made a whole 48-page document about it, and you can go grab it. It should be the first link in the description, and like, it's like packed with value. So go check it out. It's going to show you the whole strategies and everything. But yeah, back into the video. So there's basically two ways you can kind of fix this. So there's a prevention and there's a cure. I'm going to talk about the prevention here because the prevention is more important, and then later I'm going to talk about the cure, because this is always going to be better, so that you don't actually get these on the call in the first place, or not even like completely eliminate, at least reduce them significantly. So I'm going to explain to you how you do this. So the first thing you need to do is work on the frame of the actual call. So stop lying about what the call actually is, because what happens is that a lot of you are framing your calls as consulting calls. Like you're saying, oh, hop on a free consulting session with me and I'll see where you're at. And then what happens is that, guess what, people think it's a flipping consulting call, so they jump on a call and they're just expecting to get free value. And then when they don't get free value, when they do get free value, and then they end up realizing that they have to pay for something, they're like, oh, I need to think about it, because rightly so, they actually do need to think about it, because they didn't expect to be sold on the call. They expected it as a consulting call because you kept framing it as a consulting call. So what's happening is that you're bringing in people that have no intention of buying from you. As a result, when you basically want them to buy something, they're basically like this. They literally look like this, essentially. Where it's like, you tell them something and they're like, okay. They start looking around, they start doing the eye movements, all that types of stuff. So literally stop all this free one-on-one discovery, breakthrough, ascension, strategy call stuff. Like, stop it. Like, you're bringing in the wrong people when you do this type of things. Like, just frame it as it is. I'm going to explain to you how you actually frame it. But if you're guilty of this, this is probably one of the biggest reasons why you're getting a lot of people who just don't want to buy on your course. Not because like they don't think it's valuable, it's just because they've been framed wrong. So they prepared for something else when they expected something, when you expected something else. So here's how you can actually frame it as a sales call and still get people to book a call, because you obviously don't want to be like too aggressive and just be like, hey, this is a money taking call, I want to take your money on this call. Like, you don't say that, but like you have to say in a specific way where it's like, hey, I'm going to do a consultation call with you, or like, I'm just going to see where you're at, and only if we can help you, I will give you an offer, because yes, I do have something to sell, but this is something that will only be offered to you if it can actually help you. If you're still interested in that call, you can book below. You'd be surprised, people still book the call straight after that, essentially. Like, for example, let me see if I can actually show this. So here's a conversation with someone that one of the growth specialists I have that I'm training for a client. She books 3 calls a day, by the way, just letting you guys know. She's pretty good because of the trainings. She basically had this person that was like, hey, perhaps Monday, I'm sure there's a sale at the end of this. And he was ha 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 and stuff like that. What most people do here in this situation is they'll be like, oh no, don't worry, I'm just gonna see where you're at. There isn't no sale and stuff like that. There's nothing. What I told her to do is to basically say, hey, like, I know we're going to have this consultation call, you're still going to get a lot of value, but if we see there's an opportunity to actually help you, then we'll give you an offer, essentially. So basically just tell them the main goal is just to see where you're at in this call. And then this person still ended up booking the call, even though we told him that there's going to be a sale, and even though he's aware that there's probably going to be a sale at this. And this is what most of you don't even do. And this person actually ended up booking a call. But most of you will not, you don't fathom, you're so afraid to say that I'm going to sell something. You're so afraid to tell them that I want to make money. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? They're like, stop doing this and frame it like this, actually. So when you do it like that, what's going to happen is that when people actually do book a call from you, guess what? They know your program and they know they might get pitched. So there's no awkwardness when you show them the pitch or like you tell them that there's something to sell, because you've already solved the first step. So now you frame the call right. Now people are hopping on the calls and they have the frame of mind that there is something to buy. So now it's a lot easier to sell. So that's the first part. Fix that, and then you'll see instant results when you start saying it differently. So now sales process, for another part to get instant results, this is basically what happens when they're in the loop. So basically when someone actually books a call. So the whole point of the sales process is to get more qualified prospects on the phone call and get them nurtured so it's easier to close on the actual phone call. That's the whole point of this process that I'm about to show you, because there's no point speaking to unqualified people. So here's how you do this. What you do is you actually go into whatever system that you're using, and you're going to build out the system based of this. So as soon as someone books a call, you want to send them immediate text notifications and email notifications. There's systems that can do this for you quite easily. There's Calendly. There was this one that one of my clients was using. It's like Acuity. I've never heard of it before, but it does the same thing. So you want to have these stuff in place. And then what you want to have is you want to have assets that will basically go over your offer. So for me, I have an asset, which is my 48-page doc, and someone is on it right now. So it's pretty popular. That is basically going over how I do these specific things. So when someone goes on this, they read through it. They're like, oh, wow, this person knows what they're doing. So it shows them who I am, what to expect, case studies, who this call is not for, blah, 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 how it works, and the expectations, CTA, all that type of stuff. You can have this in text format. You can have this in video format. It doesn't really matter. Have both, I would say, and then basically redirect people once they've booked that call to this page, essentially. It's very easy to do that. So once you've done that, from there, you want to walk through them undeniable proof that you actually are who you say you are. There is no point in someone hopping on the call with you and they don't feel like you're an expert. If you don't have a ton of case studies, just show them a ton of content so that they can actually trust you, because all this is doing is just increasing the perceived likelihood that you actually know what you're doing and you can solve that problem. So if you have tons of case studies, or if you have at least a couple, just send it to them. Have some testimonials in there as well too. Doesn't hurt. And then final part is you want to have a pre-sale video. So this is going to handle common objections, who this is for, who this is not for, quick rundown, case studies, expectations to have on this call. You can even put a little range of how your pricing works. Essentially, you can say like, hey, this is in like the four figures. Don't tell them the actual like numbers. Like that's a mistake most people would do. Don't actually say the numbers, but just tell them where the range is at. You can say like, hey, this would be like a 4-figure investment. You can be the low 4 figures, you can be the high 4 figures. I don't know. And then 5 minutes before the call, you send them text reminders, emails reminders, and then you actually do the call. So what's going to happen after someone has gone through all of this is that you're not going to get unqualified people hopping on your calls, because I'll say from my experience, 70 to 80% of people who book a call will go through this process. The 20% of people who are just like completely oblivious, that don't even check like their reminders or their phones, anything when they book a call, you could quickly just disqualify them on the call anyway. So you don't have to like worry too much about that. But you're not going to get a huge amount of people. The people who book a call with you and then they realize that, oh, this is not for me, they'll cancel it. So you don't waste your time. But then the people who book a call and they actually stay on the call, they're going to be like, okay, cool, this is actually for me. I'm interested in this type of system. And now what's going to happen is that people are hopping on the call. Sorry for this notification. There is literally context. Now there's context. There is not a system where there's no context to all of this stuff. So as you can see, it becomes a lot easier to basically book these people book these people and sell them on their programs, because there's context. So they know why they're on the call. They know what you're doing. They know what you're selling. Now they have more likelihood of buying from you. And there's no awkwardness when you pitch them or anything like that. So I promise you, if you implement this stuff, if you actually like sit down and fix how you're framing the flipping goddamn call in the first place, and you're implementing the sales process, there is no reason why you're going to be getting these odd situations, these odd objections with people that are just like they just don't want to like speak to you about money. Like, I promise you, do this and you're going to get a way better response rate. So let's say like you've built pretty much all of this stuff and like you get people on the calls, but like people are still saying these objections at the end of the day. But that is going to be a separate video. I don't want to make this video too long, but I will make a part 2 of this that's going to go over how you can actually solve that. If it's already out, it will probably be at the end of this video. But I really appreciate your time going through this. I hope this was genuinely valuable so that you don't have situations like this. And if you're interested to see how we can actually help you implement some of this stuff and also help you get clients guaranteed, scale you up to 30K guaranteed, you can book a call with me and my team, and we're basically going to walk you through what we do. And if we see that you're a good fit, we'll offer you. If we don't, we're not going to offer you anything. So go check that out. Link is underneath the description. Check out my docs. Check out everything. And yeah, let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. And let me know if this helped you solve your problem. And we'll speak very soon. Peace.